Hello, you guys. This is Sacred Stone Tarot. This is part 3, and it's about shadow work. So, I was guided to do a reading for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine about where are the shadows right now. Um, if I wanted to speak 2 seconds about shadow work, I can do a video later on it. I just need to go more in depth to it to get to simplify it, and I want to explain it right. But it's if you have to put it simply, okay, we have channeling simply, channeling simple shadow work. Okay, shadow work is everything you judge. If you judge something or you get triggered towards something, that's your shadow. Um, And right now, there's a beach ball effect going on in the world with the shadows because everything is being revealed because of all the light that's coming in. It's like the beach ball effect. You remember you have at the beach, you have a beach ball when you were little, you try to push it down and then woof, it came up. That's what's happening. So everybody's kind of forced to work with the shadow right now because it's coming up. There's a beach ball effect going on globally right now. So, okay, back to the shadow. The shadow is everything you don't want to be, everything you judge, and everything that you try to separate from. That's your shadow, basically, if you want to put it mildly. And then there's layers into it. And we are made of duality. So we are both light and we are shadow. We are subconsciously ruled. Half of our conscious behavior is subconsciously ruled by a lot of shadow beliefs. So 99% of what you did yesterday, you've done it today, you're doing it today, and subconsciously you're ruled by your shadow. Interesting. So what are you deciding for yourself if you haven't done your shadow work? 99% of people of the world haven't done their shadow work, so they are in subconsciously shadow ruled behavior. Interesting, also. And that brings up the twin flame journey. Are our twins our shadows? So typically, you can judge for yourself. You can think whatever you want to. But that's a belief and that's a thought. Are we actually attracting our shadows to work through our soul mission, to work through our soul lessons? Because typically we can't spot our own shadows unless we consciously engage into shadow work. I've been working with it since 2009. I was trained with Debbie Ford. I'm just saying, took a lot of breaks. Been a really intense journey. So this video is definitely guided from the part 1, part 2, and part 3. This is shadow in the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. I'm going to do a reading about it. And then I'm going to follow up with a shadow work video. I just want to go in and just find out what to talk about and maybe do a live around it. Because it's really coming up all around it's what can unlock your light. It's what can move you forward. Okay, the first one out is interesting. 3 of Cups. The Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, the shadow sides, and the shadow going on in the collective right now. Interesting, yeah. That's the Divine Masculine, the Knight of Swords, swiftness energy, air energy, going through the 3 of Swords right now. Interesting. So it's the polarity within the Divine Masculine. The shadow side is they want love, but their action is 3 of Swords. Interesting. Shadow side for the Divine Masculine. They want love, but their energy, their shadow side is the 3 of Swords. And that's acting out the shadow side. The more harsh behaviors, choosing materialism over love, choosing um, everything that looks good on the surface, um, following karmic family patterns. Okay, and then luxury, yeah, they want luxury, they want the 3D material world, and that's the shadow of the divine masculine. The luxury, the easy way, so they don't want to do this work, obviously. Okay, that's the shadow of the divine masculine. But that can also be a good thing when you turn it around and you work with it, because obviously the shadow always gives us something. So you have to have both to gain the balance. So, and then we get in the middle we got the Ace of Cups, and that's the divine love between the divine feminine and divine masculine. Thank you, Spirit. So there's, yeah, okay, that's a whole different story. We're gonna keep focus here. Okay, so we got, interesting here. There is a huge tower moment right now within the relationship. We have a masculine side is coming out from the divine feminine. There's coming much more masculine out. The shadow side from the divine feminine is the moon practices, the moon, the spirituality and the power. That's the shadow side, using spirituality as a tool of power. The Princess of Coins, because yeah, we both have the divine feminine balance in the masculine and the feminine side. The Princess of Coins, the shadow side with the divine feminine, is using the moon as a power tool, and that's ruled by the divine feminine, and that's the water element, and that's the magic, and that's the, you know, everything that's going on. But also we got the Ace of Wands, so the shadow side is also using the wand manifestations, and yeah, the shadow side in the divine feminine is also feeling where the divine masculine was, the shadow side was going for luxury and all of that, but wanting love. The divine feminine wanting the moon, the divine feminine ruled by the water element, the highest possible high priestess stuff, but feeling the defeation, because here it was, yeah, okay, because of the shadow side of being afraid of stepping into her power. Interesting. So the shadow side from the divine masculine, the shadow side from the divine feminine. I need to clarify this with the Crowleys because that's the best right now. It goes deep because of the Egyptian signs. I want to look at this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because the feminine birth, and through the feminine the masculine manifests high creations, but the masculine can manifest without the divine feminine. So that's why there's so much entanglement, the duality of the both parties, and they're both operating in their shadow sides. So the Ace of Cups, high energy, divine love, followed by the Tower, because of this not being in alignment. Nobody has fully done their shadow work. There's a lot of shadows coming out here. Okay, one shadow for the divine masculine. I said the divine feminine. Let's see what's coming out. Shadow for the divine masculine. Show me the shadow for the divine masculine, the collective right now. Show me the shadow for the divine masculine, the collective right now. Death. Wow, interesting. The shadow of the death energy, destruction, self-sabotage. The death energy, that's the shadow of the divine masculine. Wow. It's, thank you, Spirit. I'm so happy for this reading. Okay, the shadow of the divine feminine. Too many cards. The shadow of the divine feminine. Okay, I got two cards. The lovers, yeah, wanting the love. The shadow of the divine feminine is wanting love outside of herself and not doing her self-love journey. So yeah, that's the whole, that's the core work within the twin flames. So the shadow is definitely, and then the shadow is also within the divine feminine, interference, psychic attacks, and also interference, but also being fearful of it. Fear, false evidence appearing real, being more, a lot of the divine feminine knows this, being more open to a lot of strange life events, strange stuff coming in, whether or not it's attracted or not. It's just a fact that a lot of divine feminine has been through a lot of stuff that divine masculine hasn't. So a lot of interference, that's also on shadow, and working with that to release it, rewrite the story, write a new story. So there was two shadows for the divine feminine. Obviously, we always have to do more work, right? There was self-love. The shadow is wanting the love outside of yourself more than the love you give yourself. And the shadow of the divine masculine with the death card, self-sabotage, destruction. We know all this. If you have been in a if you've been in a twin flame relationship, you know all this. You know this pattern. Okay. So shadow work. So how do we work with this? I have to do another video with that. But this is definitely, it's so interesting. I was just guided. I was in my kitchen and I was like, I said I would do a part 3 in the beginning of the part 1, 2, 3. I was like, I know what it has to be about. So this is an interesting process for me too. We got two shadows coming up from both counterparts, divine masculine, divine feminine, wanting the higher love, even though it's in the physical or in the 5D or above realms, and then getting the tower over and over and over again because of, I don't know, nothing. But I just, maybe that's a thread, one more red thread. It could be linked to the shadow work. I know I met my divine masculine when I started doing shadow work in San Diego, 2009, 2008, no, 2009. With, okay, I'm just like thinking here. So it's actually all, I just want to finish up with finding something that you judge. That you judge with others. It can be something about being too loud or being too much or being too, I don't know, too sexy or too, whatever you judge or whatever you're being triggered towards. It can also be with, especially in the spiritual community. That's your shadow. And I'm just inviting you to sit with it And when you have that's the first part, that's finding your shadow. Then the second part is trying and then starting working with it and integrating it and sending it love and working with it every day and owning up to it, saying, I am jealous there. I am righteous there. I am, all your dark sides. And just sending them love, and just that's gonna shift your world intensely. That's gonna change up your life dramatically because you don't have any triggers and you don't use the energy on being defending yourself. You're like, you have done your shadow work. You've been through the dark night. You've been through the light, the dark tunnels. You are so strong. You are gonna get so strong, and you're not gonna recognize yourself. And it's not about being a bitch, but you can be that too, and you can love your bitchiness, because that's gonna give you something also. That's gonna help you set boundaries, and that's gonna help you free time to focus on what's really important. Okay, so this was just what I was guided to do. I hope you liked it. I'm gonna send you so much love, and I'm inviting you to do shadow work, and I'm gonna follow up with some videos on this because I love the energy and I love shadow work, even though I hated it for a long time. I'm like, sorry, I was really like, oh my god, I just want to get out of this, because it's not a pretty journey. It's not pretty. But what comes out of it eventually, I'm still doing it, will probably be something that will really give a new dimension and also make you much more accepting. And if we're going for unity consciousness, we need to do this work. We can't say, oh, I'm unity consciousness and I haven't done my shadow work. And it's not about, you can't do your shadow work as a psychologist for a few months, or you have to really commit to doing it and look into it and read about it, and maybe join 2 or 3 friends and then start doing it, or get a shadow coach. Okay, have a beautiful day. I love you guys. And I'm sending you a lot of shadow love, shadow reading love. And I love this reading. I was like, I learned a lot. I'm learning with you on this journey. And I was like, wow, this is so true. And I know it's true for me too, as divine feminine, if I am that. I'm like reading, I'm doing the readings, but the love part is so true, because that was the core belief. Even in all the trainings I did, most of the women was like, I'm unlovable. And when you have that core belief, obviously you attract that stuff or into your life. So hardcore, authentic, January, truth or dare. Hmm? So I dare you to do some shadow work. Take care. I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.